When you think about the courtroom, one thing you might not think of is a court reporter, keeping notes of everything that's said. Their job is vital to making sure what happens in a courtroom is recorded accurately. But as KIMT News 3's Matt Bradley shows us, there may be some problems ahead for this important yet little-known profession. He's in Studio 3 with a special report. Matt.
We'll talk about timing. As we were preparing this report on a looming shortage of court reporters, we got word that 2 in North Iowa are going to retire by the end of the year. Statewide, about 60% of court reporters are able to retire in about the next decade. To understand why that is a problem, we first want to show you how difficult the job they do can be.
When you fell on August 15, did you fall on the carpeted surface or on the tile floor of the Florida building?
Take a look at those fingers fly. You will notice they are not typing on a standard keyboard. The students are using steno machines, typing by shorthand. That way they can keep up with the speed at which people talk. If you think you can do that on a regular keyboard, let me introduce you to Renee Scott. She's the owner of Scott Transcription Services. All day long, she types the things people say, works very quickly, but she works from a recording, so she can rewind when she has to. Here's what happens when she doesn't have that option.
When was that sale? A garage.
Okay, I completely lost it.
Now, first off, I want to thank Renee for helping us with this demonstration. Again, she is an expert on a regular keyboard, very good, but to keep up with the speed of speech, you need to use shorthand like this.
Beyond reasonable doubt would be, that's what that is.
As you might imagine, learning to use one of those machines is not an easy task, and that is one of several reasons why the future of this important career could be in doubt.
Ready? Begin. When you fell on August 15, did you fall on the carpeted surface?
No matter how fast the instructors read, Chambry Keeney can keep up.
I love it. I love it.
After 2 years of study, she's able to make a note of everything people say at more than 200 words a minute.
The place where the accident occurred.
I called my office and someone picked me up. I am in my 225s, so I've passed all of my 200s tests, but I have not passed a 225 test. We have to pass 3.
As soon as she gets to that level, she'll be finished with this 2-year stenography program, and she'll be able to do what she always knew she wanted to, work in the court system.
You're important. You're not just another person in an office. You're kind of the judge's right-hand person. Rely on you for the record, so it's an important job.
When was that sale?
Her instructor says Chambry and all the other classmates will be able to get a job as full-time court reporters just as soon as they walk out of Anoka Tech.
The districts in Minnesota are eating them up like crazy.
The stenography program that Jennifer Sadie is in charge of at Anoka Tech is growing, but it's the only one around and can't possibly provide enough reporters to fill the openings.
There was a surplus, and so what happened was quite a few schools closed. And then I think that this shortage just kind of creeped up on us.
Now, the problem is, to arrive here and take a class, it takes a lot. You have to pass through Minneapolis and through all of its traffic. It winds up being a 2-hour journey at least from our area. That's a lot to ask, and it's one big reason why efforts are underway to start a program in Iowa.
My back was bothering me a little more than usual.
Did he treat you at that time?
Des Moines Area Community College is on track to open up a program in about a year, but while part of the shortage of court reporters is caused by a lack of schools, there are other reasons.
The big one is, are there still court reporters out there?
I think that's always what everyone's thinking. You know, oh my gosh, audio is going to take over everything. Why don't you just record this or that? But we know that we're always going to be needed.
If Chambry Keeney is the future of court reporting, Jody Miller is what she hopes to become.
I've done this for 20 years, and so it's just kind of comes in and flows out my fingers now.
Miller is a court reporter for Iowa's 2nd Judicial District. She works in courtrooms throughout North Iowa. Here we see her at work during a high-profile murder trial.
It was definitely a highlight of my career.
She says she was fortunate to avoid what many of her colleagues did not, a round of layoffs during the recession.
The students enrolled in the court reporting program really dropped because they didn't see a future in court reporting.
Those laid off have been largely hired back by now, after Miller says the state saw how difficult it is to replace them. A microphone can't pick up everything that happens in the courtroom, and even if it can, someone would still have to listen to the recording to make the written transcript that judges need.
This matter today is in Franklin County.
And if you're skeptical, let Colleen Whelan be the judge.
There are lots of fails in the technology. Even when it works well, court proceedings are such that you can't always tell on an audio who's saying something specific. People talk over each other, people interrupt each other.
You can try it yourself. Just try to make out what is said when multiple people are talking on the same recording.
Instantaneously.
And all those people that
through
lost
theory.
jobs
So the
were
first year that you're in school, you learn a specific way of.
Now you can have a reporter in a courtroom.
real stressful.
In a courtroom, if something's hard to understand, the reporter can ask for clarification. The microphone cannot.
So it's not a great record.
To be sworn, will you raise your right hand?
Wieland has worked with her court reporter, Jennifer Krull, since she became a judge 7 years ago.
What is your birth date?
Krull's time in the courtroom goes back decades, and she is nearing retirement. And that is the main reason why the future of this career is in doubt.
They're not ready to retire tomorrow, but they're within distance of it. And if they all decide to go at the same time, we are going to grind to a halt.
What treatment did he give to you?
Not if Sean Bricchini has anything to do with it.
Just more motivation to graduate quicker.
How much is your total bill?
And the thing that those in the court system tell me they are really worried about is retirements leading to the end of human court reporters. Because if too many leave and nobody can replace them, judges would then be forced to rely on more recordings of hearings. We are putting some links along with this story on our website, KIMT.com, so you can find out how to get involved in court reporting as well as learn about the career's future prospects. One tip, everyone I spoke with agrees, it is not about being able to type fast.
It is truly like learning a different language.
It's kind of similar to learning a foreign language.
It's like a whole new language. That's how I describe it to people.
And Judge Wieland tells us in a serious court reporter shortage, the court system would be even further backed up. Criminal trials and custody hearings would get the top priority, but from there on down, if you have a less important civil matter, malpractice, or personal injury case, you'll be waiting much longer for your day in court.